Tracy Lewis, and I also need to apologize because normally you do ladies first on everything, but kind of in the background. I think you were the only one that let us kind of put you wherever, and we appreciate that. But Tracy, if you come up and speak for us.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks.
Thanks for filling in. Thank you, Fred, and thank you to the Bartow Republican Party for having us this morning. I appreciate the opportunity always to speak in front of anybody. Where two or more are gathered, I want to be there, and I want to earn their support to be our new Bartow County Commissioner. So again, I'm Tracy Lewis. I'm a lifelong resident of Bartow County, with the exception of going to Berry College over in Rome for 4 years, which I still wasn't far from home and still was involved in my church and activities here at home because I bleed Bartow. That's what I tell people. One of my friends reminded me that I told her that a few years ago. I believe in our community, and I want to make it better. I want to make a difference, and I want to be the new county commissioner, make the tough decisions that needs to be made in the next few years to build on the great foundation that we have in our county government and what the services they provide, but to bring us into the 21st century, and that's where I want to take Bartow County. Along with the cards that I'm giving out as I door knock and some that are here, I'm not going to drill my roadmap to success, which is basically my platform, because you can read about it, but I do want to say the 5 things, and I want to get into something else that I call the real solutions. But I believe in anything, you got to have a plan. You've got to have a roadmap. You can't get on the road to go somewhere without having a plan to get there. So my roadmap to success is, number 1, economic development is my highest priority. I want to be more involved in economic development than anybody you've ever seen in county government. I want to be the one to go with the economic development department and go to Kentucky or New Jersey or out west or China or wherever and tell these industries that we want you. We want you in Bartow County. We need you, and we need to provide the jobs there. And I have no problem doing that. I've had a small business for 24 years since I came home from college, a crazy idea for a courier business. It's called Fast Track Delivery. And people are like, "You're going to do what? There's a need for that?" 24 years later, yes, there's a need for that idea. I have no problem with meeting a small business Main Street business owner to Fortune 100 company presidents. That is what I've done for the past 24 years. So I want to go out and get those jobs and bring them to Bartow County. The second one is to control taxes and keep money in the pockets of the people. I believe we all want to keep money in our pockets. And lower taxes and no new taxes is what I stand for. We have plenty of taxes coming in to provide the services that we need. There may just be things that need to be trimmed and cut, and I plan on doing that. The next one is efficient county management, to be a good steward of tax dollars and county resources. And that's a part of what I want to do. I'll get into it in more detail in just a second. The fourth one is to aggressively promote tourism. Market Bartow County's unique culture, venues, and heritage. We have such great things here in Bartow County, not only from our natural resources. I mean, Adairsville has all the water in the world. They sell water to Floyd County. We have the Lake Allatoona. We have natural things, the Etowah Indian Mounds. And then we have the 2 Smithsonian museums here in town that people are coming to. Those tax dollars, when people come to our community and they're staying all night here and eating 3 meals a day and buying gas, those tax dollars are contributing to our tax base. And so they do a good job at promoting tourism, but I want to aggressively promote that so those people passing through our county can help contribute to our tax dollars and our tax base, which is going to help us in providing our services. And then the last one is protect family and community values. And that's where you heard from the sheriff earlier. I believe that's the number 1 role of government, is to protect our county and protect our family and our community. And so most of the taxes that we need to pay need to go to that. The true public servants of our society are our deputies and our firemen, and then of course our military. That's who I believe are the true public servants, and they need to have the funds to protect us, and that's what I'm meaning with that. But I go a step further because I believe someone that wants to be the new county commissioner needs to have ideas. And so I have Tracy's first 90-day solutions, because I'm one that I've always expected out of the people that work for me, and I want real solutions. Tell me what you're going to do to make Fast Track better. Tell me what you're going to do to make our community better. And I want to hold them and those goals. I want to hold them to that. And I've always been a goal setter, and that's what I want to do in county government. The first one of the 90-day solutions is to hire a county administrator and manager in the first 90 days. As you know, Clarence Brown is retiring, and his right-hand person, the county administrator, Steve Bradley, is retiring along with that. And that is such a critical position to keep in task everything with the budget from A to Z. And yes, I'm capable of doing that. I have the education and the background. I know how to do a budget and know how to keep people within that budget. But the commissioner to me is three things, is the visionary, the leader, and the representative. And so with that, you need a county administrator to manage everything in the county government and to oversee that from A to Z and dissect the details. So as commissioner, I can go out and represent you, and I can have the ideas and the vision, and I can lead this community and bring us in the 21st century. So hiring the county administrator and manager in the first 90 days. Second is to personally meet with each county department head and find areas to trim waste. And I believe there are areas to trim waste. Some people have asked about, one of my constituents said, what do you mean when you say bring in jobs, 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 jobs? Are you meaning county government jobs? And I'm like, absolutely not. We've got enough people to manage that. I'm talking about industry jobs. So I want to personally meet with each county department head and find ways that we can trim that budget and see what areas we can do. The third one is to compare surrounding counties in our region as to economic development requirements and make sure we are in the game as far as industry development in the areas of zoning, ordinances, and land use map. We are losing industries to neighboring counties, and they're doing a better job at getting them. So we need to make sure that we are on the same page and we can get the Lowe's and the car dealerships that are in the other parts of the state. Why did we not get them? We have the infrastructure in place, the water, the 7 exits on the Interstate 75. There is really no excuse. And that's what I want to make sure, that we have all that in place and we're in the game as far as our region. And the fourth one is to compile an advisory board consisting of a representative from each voting precinct in the county to meet with me quarterly, maybe more often, and to give me the ideas of what their community is needing and what they're seeing as our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, our threats. Tell us what you need in Stylesboro, in Sugar Valley, in Folsom. And 17 voting precincts, I think, is a good number to start with on that. And then the fifth one is to make the Freeport inventory tax 100% exempt, where it's currently at 80%. I believe that is crippling us as far as economic development, and that is the one reason that we lost Lowe's distribution center just across the Floyd County line. And of course, I'm a positive thinker. I know we're going to get some jobs from that, and Bartow County people don't live far from there, so we're going to get jobs from that. But we would have loved to have had Lowe's had I been county commissioner and providing those jobs. And so Freeport is one of the things that's crippling us. As a matter of fact, I have a map here that's on one of the economic development sites in Georgia. And Bartow County, we're this different color green. Of course, I love the color green. That's my colors. But we want to be that lime, that sassy green, because that means that we're 100% Freeport exempt. So we have got to make sure that's in place. So as I said, I'm Tracy Lewis. I'm a lifelong resident of Bartow County, and I want to be your new Bartow County Commissioner. So I'd appreciate your prayers, your support, and ultimately your vote in the Republican primary, which is July 31st, and early voting is July 9th. So please help me in realizing Bartow's tomorrow together, and vote Tracy Lewis for Bartow County Commissioner. And I'll be happy to take any questions. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, we have got, our community has got 21 locations in Adairsville, White, and Cartersville counties in gas stations. And I was wondering, what do you think about the beer license? The process that we have is a very hectic process, and we get like 2-3 months to get that approved. Will you be able to do something about that?
2 or 3, make sure I understand.
2 or 3 months to get it approved, the business license for beer,
alcohol.
the beer license in our locations. And there is beer prohibited on Sundays in this county. Many counties are trying to get us into Sunday. They are trying to open up the beer. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, Clarence Brown has put that on the ballot for the Sunday alcohol sales for the whole county. So that's something that he has taken off. Whomever gets Bartow commissioners, whoever gets the seat, he's taken off their plate. So it will be voted on this year. on the Sunday alcohol sales. And I believe that's the way it needs to go, is up to the people. But as far as the process and on taking 2 or 3 months, I'm not sure exactly the details on that. But I believe that in the county government, we need a one-stop shop. I know when my dad went to renew a business license here, he was just so frustrated because it took him half a day going around to different offices. And, you know, the courthouse and the county government is so spread out now, which is, you know, good to a certain extreme. But it needs to be a one-stop shop, and we need to be able to streamline that where you can go in one place and get everything done within an hour. I mean, goodness sakes, that's all you need for licenses, because promote small businesses are what America thrives on. So if it's taking you that long, then it must be some process that they're used to, but maybe it's a process that we need to look at and make it quicker. So it's something I'll look at. Thank you for making me aware of that.
I was just going to ask, if it comes up, if it ever comes up on the ballot referendum, do you have any thoughts or any position on a potential multi-member commission in Bartow County as we grow into a heavier population?
Right. That's been something that we have voted on just 4 or 5 years ago. I was actually on that committee to come up with the actual legislation. I was chairman of the subcommittee, which came up with the actual number that we came up with, which was 5, and it was voted down. So I am running for sole commissioner, but that's not to say that if we didn't have a multi-commissioner, I wouldn't be running for the chairman of that either. I just feel so, I feel like this is what God put me on the earth to do. I really do. I don't want to sound cheesy with that, but every decision I've made up to this point in my life. So that is up to the people, and I think it can go back on the ballot here in the next few years. I think it's a 10-year process. So to me, no.
There's no regulation.
Oh, okay. All right.
One of the other candidates is saying that, but there's nothing that says it can't happen.
It can go anytime, where the legislators can decide if it needs to go on the ballot again, and I'm open for whatever the people decide on that. But again, I would be running for this position regardless. But
And, well, if nobody else has a question, I want to piggyback on his question back there. Speaking of all the convenience stores in Bartow County and the alcohol license and all that, I don't know if everybody else has noticed, but a lot of these stations, when you walk in there, it's convenience store / head shop, or at least it looks like it is. There's all kinds of drug paraphernalia for sale and all these kinds of things. Would you be willing to look at or have a discussion about doing something about that, having all these illicit materials and drug use paraphernalia banned from convenience stores?
well, of course, that's something I want to look at. To be honest with you, I rarely, the place I go in the convenience store is to get a drink and a candy bar and my gas, so I rarely have the time because I'm on the fast track, always busy to look at what all they have to sell. But of course, drugs is being a huge problem in our community. I went through Leadership Georgia back in 2000, and there's 60 leaders from the state that are pulled from that, selected for that, and it was such a great opportunity. But one weekend we were on public safety, and that's what Bartow County is known for. Of course, this was 12 years ago, and yes, we're making the right steps to get us there and not be known for that. But it's drugs. I mean, all over the state, Bartow County is known for that. I don't know if it's because we have the infrastructure in place, but that's something that we've got to, I mean, we're all doing this for our children. This is all, I mean, we all make the best decisions for the next generation and for the leaders. So that needs to be something that we look at and of course not be a proponent of. So thanks.
Thank you.
Well, thank y'all for your time. I'll be around afterward, and I appreciate to spend any time with you that I can.
All right.
Great.